I jump in my truck to get a battery for the other car in our household, and the truck doesn't start. Now I turn on the key, I hear the fuel pump prime, the lights are on, everything seems right electrically, but you turn the key and nothing. Now you can hear kind of the electrical system, you hear like there's a load on the electrical system, you can kind of hear it drop down, but the starter doesn't make any sound. You know, I first thought it's starter, because the battery, if it's a battery, you turn it and go whoa, 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 kind of down like that. You don't have enough volt in the battery to turn the starter over. You know, if it's alternator, usually you get some indication the alternator, you know, your lights are dimming, things like that. I just replaced the battery last year. The alternator I replaced this year. So I'm thinking starter, but generally the starter gives you some indication that it's going out. So I'm like, what is going on? Because I need to get a battery for the other car. I have no working cars. And the starter just didn't quite seem right to me. Sorry, let me break it down. And I went to the battery, because I've had this issue before, and it took me a minute to think of it. I was like, is it maybe a battery connection, maybe a loose connection, maybe corrosion, who knows what. Turned out it was corrosion. So here's what you do. You need to disconnect your battery cables. There, you know, you may have one like this, you may have a top post, mine turns out to be a side post. You need to remove that, and then you need to look at it, see if there's corrosion. Now, I've already cleaned this one up, so it looks a bit cleaner. I pulled it off at first. It was white and crusty, kind of greenish tint, because that is corrosion acid from the battery, so you need to clean that off. So what you need to do, get a little bit of baking soda. You don't need much, just a little bit. Put it in a glass or cup or something of that sort. Put some water in that glass with the baking soda. Make sure you get it stirred around, all nice and agitated. And then you're going to want to put your battery cable in the cup to clean it out. You just stick it in there. That baking soda, it is a base. The corrosion is an acid, so it should get rid of all your corrosion. If you don't get rid of all the corrosion, you can use just some kind of wire brush like this. Just scrub that terminal. Make sure the terminal on your actual battery is clear as well. Usually it's going to be your battery connection, not your actual battery that is corroded, but check them all. You may want to dip the battery terminal in the cup a couple times to make sure it is nice and clean. Scrub it, dry it. Once it's dry and it looks clean, that is clean. Look at that. There's no white, powdery, greenish corrosion. Connect that battery back up. So that's what you do if your car is not starting. It's just such a weird thing. My truck cranked perfectly that morning, that afternoon, nothing at all. And usually, if it's your starter, most times, now sometimes it will die without any sound, but usually you're going to hear some kind of grinding. A lot of times it might be a clicking. You turn to start the key and you just get click, 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 click. No actual engine turning over sounds. So your battery, like usually your battery, you're going to hear it start and it's just going to be really slow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Your alternator, if your alternator is going bad, it may be similar to a battery where it starts slow. Could be that while you're driving, your lights are dimming. Or in this case, it may be that your battery terminals are just corroded or not making good contact. Could be loose as well. That might do it. You might have enough connection to cut your lights on and to prime the fuel pump, but not enough volts to actually start the car, because it requires more volts, a bigger load. So that's what's going on. Check that. It may save you money on a tow bill, on a repair bill, and saving money is always a good thing. I'm always trying to save money, and so hopefully I've saved you some time.